Hey Tribers, want to talk about one of my pet peeves. I have many, but one of them is when you say to people, how are you, how are things? And they say, different day, same shit. I'm like, different day, same shit. If we think about the French philosopher Jacques Derrida and deconstruction, breaking something down and then building it back up again to have perspective, you know, if they say different day, same shit, how about same day, different shit? That's what doers think. That's how doers live. I remember when I had a magazine in 1996, I distributed it across the city, all 5 boroughs with a Metro card. And then a couple of times I hired people with cars to drive me around and, you know, have 30, 40 meetings in a day, bringing magazines to newsstands. I remember a friend of mine, Chris Kring, he was like, Tommy, you can't go to LA. I was like, why not? He was like, you wouldn't be able to take it. I'm like, what are you talking about? He was like, Tommy, in LA, no offense to people in LA and their work ethic, he was like, they do one thing per day. I was like, what do you mean? He was like, they get one thing done per day. And I was like, I don't understand what you're saying. He was like, that's what I'm talking about. You can't go to LA. Because New Yorkers, and I'm not going to say New Yorkers and be silly about it, but doers, like, we try to get 100 things done a day, and we get 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20. We're not happy, right? Because it's one of those things where, as somebody who's creative, you want to get as much done as possible in a day. You want to create a world, and you know that you're going to have to go through as many things as possible, as quickly as possible. Like when I first got started in business, I was like, I want to make as many mistakes as possible, because when making those mistakes as quickly as possible, I'll get to where I have to go. And then, you know, 20 years later, I've learned the average age of an entrepreneur is 45, and I'm 49, and I started out doing business when I was in high school. So it's one of those things that, in terms of pet peeves, I'm like, when people say different day, same shit, I'm like, that's not me, man. It's the same day, and I'm working on the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 10th, 20th thing, and it's not shit. It's gold, man. And as an entrepreneur, every day you wake up and you're going to say to the universe, okay, punch me in the face 100 times today, but that's what I'm going to go through every single day, and keep waking up and keep getting punched in the face by the universe, because we just have that absolute need to be free. Like, you know, I always tell the story of Roots, how the woman had a garden and she went to the slave owner and said, I'm here to buy my freedom, and he said no, and she ripped up the garden because she was so upset. And, you know, it's one of those things where if you're an entrepreneur, and, you know, I learned this years ago, they were like, oh, people who go from job to job to job, what's wrong with them? That's a born entrepreneur. That's somebody who wasn't meant to work for people. That's somebody who's just too creative to fit into a box. And thank God for, you know, the gig economy and social media and the internet, where we could take our ideas or creativity, make more and more decisions, more and more failure to get toward that eventual success or freedom, whatever that may be for you, or, you know, your team, your company, your family. So I'll leave you with that. And it's just one of those things, beware of language. You know, language is powerful. When someone asks you how you're doing, you say, different day, same shit, you're heading in the wrong direction. What you say to them, if you're a doer, if you say, same day, different shit. And when they say, what do you mean? You can look them in the eye and say, I'm a doer. I'm about being creative. I'm about getting things done. It's not shit to me. I'm sifting through the mud to get the nuggets of gold. Enjoy the rest of your day, my friends.